Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Hips and I am the Director of Environmental Education here at the Canaan Nature Center. Today I wanted to introduce you to a couple of our animal ambassadors. Our animal ambassadors are ranging from birds of prey to donkeys, goats, and chickens to small mammals, reptiles, and amphibians. And they go with us on programs. So we do environmental education programs on site at the Nature Center, and then we also visit schools, libraries, scout groups, and so much more. So I hope you enjoy. This is Gunther the rabbit, who has been living at the Canaan Nature Center since August 2016. Including him, we currently have 4 resident bunny rabbit animal ambassadors. Our other rabbits' names are Oscar, Tofu, and Henry. While Oscar was once someone's pet, he came to live with us when his owners could no longer take care of him. Tofu was rescued from someone's yard, either having accidentally escaped or been intentionally released by a previous unknown owner. As a domestic rabbit, he would not have survived long on his own in the wild, and so we gladly took him in. Both Henry and Gunther came to us from Hopalong Hollow Rabbit Rescue, based out of Norwalk, Connecticut. Hopalong Hollow is an amazing group dedicated to rescuing, rehabilitating, and rehoming rabbits and other small mammals. We like to encourage anyone who has a pet that they can no longer take care of to reach out to groups such as Hopalong Hollow or nature centers such as our own, as opposed to simply letting these animals go free. When living with us at the Nature Center, these former pets become fast fan favorites of both children and adults alike, and are well cared for by our team of naturalists and a wonderful group of dedicated volunteers, all led by our Director of Animal Care. Typically, 2 of our rabbits live in our preschool classrooms, 1 is housed in animal care, and 1, usually Henry, lives in our visitor center. Here we have Chance, the ball python. While most of our snakes, which include another ball python, corn snake, Nicaraguan boa, and king snake, were once pets that were surrendered to us when their owners could no longer care for them, Chance was found by our Director of Animal Care in a Tupperware outside our visitor center one morning in early June of 2018. As I mentioned earlier, we do recommend contacting local animal shelters or nature centers rather than releasing pets into the wild when they can no longer be cared for. However, in dropping Chance off without pre-contacting us, we had no way of knowing Chance's history. Was he sick? Aggressive? We didn't know. And his owners also had no way of knowing if we even had the space or resources to take him in. Luckily for both him and us, even though he was extremely skinny and malnourished when he first arrived, we were able to take him in and give him the care he needed and deserved. Although we were not initially sure if he would live, he flourished in our care and we found him to be an extremely friendly and curious snake. Thus we came to name him Chance, as we knew we were giving him a second chance at a happy and healthy life. Right now I'm sitting outside of our birds of prey aviaries. Aviaries is just the fancy word that we use for these large cages that you see. Each of the birds has an individual aviary, so the birds aren't all kept together. And this is just because most of our birds are different species. So we have barred owl, turkey vulture, a couple of red-tailed hawks, red-shouldered hawk, a raven, even a bald eagle.
Yeah, they'll be doing that in the wild. They'll be zipping and zagging as I mentioned. This bird can't do that though. And this is just a good thing to mention of why most of our birds are here. Most of the birds that we have here at the Nature Center have some sort of wing injury or some sort of injury in general that disallows them to live in the wild.
All of our birds are injured in some way, either physically or mentally, and are thus non-releasable. Collisions with vehicles are one of the leading causes of physical injuries for birds of prey, as these birds frequently hunt along roadways. Because they are hollow to allow for flight, bird bones are nearly impossible to repair once broken, and often wildlife rehabilitators or veterinarians will need to amputate anything that is broken to save a bird's life. If born in captivity or raised by humans, young birds often imprint on or form attachments to people. This alters their sense of self-identity and confuses their natural and wild instincts, meaning if we release them into the wild, they wouldn't know how to be a wild bird. Our nature center cannot take in injured birds directly, but we are licensed to handle, house, and care for the birds of prey after they have worked with a rehabilitator. We also have state and federal permits that allow us to publicly display our birds and travel with them on education programs. Our birds of prey are cared for by trained staff and a small handful of volunteers who handle, feed, and administer medical attention to our birds. Each day we provide food, fresh water, and a clean environment for our feathered friends. In addition, our birds are also attended by a local veterinarian who provides regular checkups and medical attention when necessary. Our staff work hard to train the birds to be comfortable on glove so they can be used on educational programs. Training is done using positive reinforcement methods. We also strive to give our birds a diet similar to one they would have in the wild. The main difference is that the animals we provide our birds are not alive. This is because it would be stressful or could cause injury for our birds to hunt live prey. The amount of food given daily is dependent on veterinary instruction and the size and weight of each bird. But for example, our hawks and owls typically feed on mice and small rats, supplemented by chicks or quail. Our bald eagle, in addition to mice and rats, is also given a diet of fish. Our common raven is known for eating everything. Each day, he is given a small salad consisting of mice, nuts, fruits, veggies, cereal, peanut butter, dog food, and much more to give him a wide variety of things to choose from. This is Hedwig, our barred owl, who came to the Nature Center in June of 2001 from Tallahassee, Florida. That's right, Hedwig has lived here at the Nature Center for almost 20 years now, making her one of our oldest animal ambassadors. She has a partial right wing amputation, which has prevented full flight. This is Tupelo, our red-shouldered hawk, who came to the Nature Center in the summer of 2010. One of our more wild and certainly most vocal birds of prey, Tupelo's first public program was not until 2013, as it took that much time to get him adjusted to life at the Nature Center. Like Hedwig, he has a right wing injury that never healed properly, and as a result, he is now unreleasable. So here we have a couple of our resident chickens. Currently I believe we have 3, but usually we have anywhere from 3 to 6 chickens on our little mini farm. And we actually hatch these chickens right from eggs in our very own visitor center. Each spring we pick up anywhere from 10 to 20 fertilized eggs from a local farm, and then we house them in an incubator so that our preschoolers and any visitors can watch as the baby chicks grow inside their eggs for the 21-day incubation period. After they hatch, we occasionally keep a few on as animal ambassadors, while the remainder return to live on the farm. Once out here, our chickens, like our goats, are cared for by our staff and a team of dedicated volunteers. Fun chicken fact: fossil evidence has shown scientists that the chicken is a living relative of the T-Rex. How cool is that? Here we have our resident Nigerian dwarf goats. This is Buttercup. You can tell she's Buttercup because she's got a yellowish coat. And then over here we have her cousin Pumpkin, and Pumpkin has a more orange coat. And that's how we tell the two apart. They're both girls and they are cousins. They came to the Nature Center in the summer of 2013 when they were just 2 months old. and they came to us from the Stanford Museum and Nature Center, which is just about 15 minutes down the road from us. And they have goats and all sorts of farm animals on their farm property. And we were looking to expand our animal ambassador program a little bit. So these guys came to live with us when they were babies. And actually, when they were babies, their names were actually Kathy Lee and Hoda, because they went on the Kathy Lee and Hoda show. And then after they were world famous, they came to live with us here at the new Canaan Nature Center. And they've been with us ever since. Here we have one of our 3 resident miniature donkeys. Their names are Charlie, Chipper, and Tilly. And they live in this nice paddock. I have this great big barn over here. The other 2 are inside cooling down on a hot day today. And they came to us in March of 2019 from a woman in town who was moving and was looking to have them housed at the Nature Center for the enjoyment of all. So unlike some of our smaller animals, our resident donkeys do not travel with us for our environmental education programs, but they do get to greet our visitors every day when they come to say hello to our farm friends. We thank you so much for joining us on a virtual tour of our center. We hope you enjoyed what we had to share today, and please know that if you're ever in the area, our Nature Center trails and grounds are open 365 days a year, from sunrise to sunset. Come visit, and who knows what you'll discover.